So setup wise for me, looking very good. Shoulder alignment now in both these cases is much better. As a result, your grip is much better in the fingers there with your right hand, and they're kind of starting to feel a little bit more now comfortable to where you want to be. Okay, only issue I got in the takeaways on occasions, which you obviously miss on this sort of view, the club goes a little bit outside and a bit pushy away. Going back probably I think it's less than 3 back in the summer, your left arm getting away from your chest, which causes that club to kind of, when you did that in the past, the club would whip behind you. Now your hands are working better on the way back, it just creates the club going too far outside, which gets a bit steeper and comes across the ball. Can relate in some of these sort of fadey, catchy ones more than you actually want to do, okay? But in terms of the actual move we're going to focus on now, okay, once you get top of the back, this is obviously a full swing. You've maintained, or you've created, shall we say, a hinge there with your left forearm and the club. As you start coming down, you've kind of got it there. It's about this point here, which again seems a long way from where the ball. I think 14:56. The ball's been hit at 14:67, so it's literally like a tenth of a second. Yeah. It's not a long time. It just looks a big gap because the club's gone from way up there down there, across miles away. Okay, so to change it now to unhinge it down here or down here, I mean we're talking split seconds, isn't it? Okay, it's a very small margin. Okay, so as you're coming down here now, you can see the hinges started almost to lose the angle. You're about sort of 45 degrees there, 20, 25, and at about this point now, when you get your hands down sort of where your right pocket is, you are literally zero hinge. So from there now, the club has to kind of be held on to. If you kept hinging based on those sort of figures there, the club now would be here, and the hands would be there, so the club face would be shut. As your club would then do this, your hands would move there a little bit, and the ball's going to be going way left. So you sort of hang on to the club face as you come through. Left glove hand is still sort of visible here, sort of left elbow quite high, almost like a lift and a sort of lunge of the golf ball. Like I say, you swing the club very well. We're sort of picking up things now that sort of sounds like we're saying you're swinging it terribly. You're not. It's just a little bit of that timing of where that club needs to hinge and release, okay? And as you swing through, obviously the follow through, it's a little bit kind of sawn up, which is fine. You can still have that finish, because there, that finished position here now, you still unhinged your wrist there. It's just happening a little bit too early and then nothing afterwards, okay? So if we go back to kind of the impact, or just before impact here, there, that's kind of where your left arm and the club kind of get straighter. We go back to this, and this is obviously a smaller swing, admittedly, okay? Back swing to me looks very, very good though, okay? Less left leg movement, okay? And what you'll find by able to create more club head speed with this, you won't need as much knee to kick in and more shoulder turn. So a lot of the other moves are going to be a lot better as a result. So as the club starts coming down, still got at least 90 degrees there where your arms level with your shoulders there, or your hands by your shoulder. Still got 75, 80. Still got it about there, so your hand's about here now. So your left arm there actually looks a little bit straighter. I'm not saying straighten your left arm, am I? Yeah. But your left arm now has maintained its width here, and you've got a bit of angle there now to the golf ball, okay? And at this point now, as you come into impact, still got a bit of angle, and at this point now, then the club starts straightening here. Everything sort of straightens back to the golf ball, and you can unhinge to impact here. Compare that sort of move there. That looks a lot of effort. That doesn't, okay? Yeah. And I think when you finish that swing, yes, that only went 150, 60 yards, but you're gripping way down it, okay? And you weren't swinging it as far back, okay? Yes, you've got a bit more distance you could create by going back a little bit further, but it wouldn't need to go back much further. But it's club head speed, so as the butt end of the club, as you can see, sort of comes down here. As it gets down to here, it sort of stops and reverses back direction again, where it's facing it, and gets back to there, turns and changes direction, now is facing over there. Whereas this, when you sort of swing through, is facing your belly button and kind of continues on with a bit of a lift and a heave, okay? So getting that club to release through, certainly going to give you a lot more power and speed with a lot less effort and less energy, and you'll be able to control that club face a bit more, because by allowing yourself to unhinge and knowing where that golf club is and when that release needs to be happening, if you break down the swing to a bit shorter, like that last one, you're at the 6 time at 140, second on the button into a bit of wind, just nudging in a bit more zip. And I think as well, when you get this, and I'm saying, I'll be honest, March, April time, when this becomes kind of something really, really good, your 5 iron will be a club you can use all day, even a 4 iron, even a 3 iron. Because you better get more zip and more club head, where you'll be compressing them more better, striking it better, as opposed to kind of almost a scrapey, scoopy sort of scenario you've got with that movement there, where you sort of lost all your hinge and now your power. And because your club now is extended so much, and this is now at full extension, if you carried on doing that, you'd hit the ground beyond the ball. So then you've got to start doing this to try and not hit the ground, which gives that kind of lifting and shrugging sensation to the golf ball. Hence why when you're finishing the swing, it's all a bit lifted. It's marginal, but I mean, you've figured out how to wear the ball. So. Yeah.
Okay, make sense?
Yeah, brilliant.